We're talking markets with Tommy Grisafi from Advanced Trading, ATI, ProMedia. Tommy, we had a chance to connect this week. The Big Iron Farm Show, good to have a chance to recap this week. And certainly no shortage of topics to talk about. One thing it seems for certain is harvest pressure is alive and well. We're feeling that as we look into this marketplace.
Yeah, the weather's setting up nice for people to harvest across the Midwest. Getting a lot of phone calls saying, I wish I was sold more. I wish I would have protected more. I even had some people tell me you should have yelled at me. And I said, I'll tell you and I'll tell the whole YouTube world. Just because I'm Italian doesn't mean I'm going to threaten you. It's your grain. It's your job to sell it. It's my job to help you sell it, help you protect it, encourage you to sell it. I said, I don't know if the 100 texts and emails I sent this summer when we're above $6, maybe you didn't read all 100. I don't know what, but I'm getting phone calls from non-clients and clients saying, I got a lot of corn to sell here at Harvest and we're going down a nickel a day and I don't like how this feels. And if you don't like selling at $6, you're not going to like it any better at $4.50. So assuming every farmer in America had no corn sold, we've just pulled over $20 billion out of the American farm economy. What you could have had at $6 versus what you're going to have at $4.50, Don. That's a big number. And then we're doing that in beans, and we've definitely done that in wheat. Tens of billions of dollars coming out of the farm economy that could have been sold at higher prices.
And the market's doing what it does during a harvest season. It typically does go into the harvest pressure type of situation that we're dealing with today. Are those days of big rallies, are they in the rearview mirror right now, or what are we looking at?
Well, with the volatility level, great question. With the volatility level, you have to keep things in perspective, right? What's a big rally? In my mind, 50 cents would be a big rally in corn. I do think beans could rally. I think wheat could rally. All the markets are going to rally from the harvest low. We just don't know what day that is, what time of day that is. You'll know after it happened. And that's why everyone says, oh, the lows are in. Well, sure. If corn bounces 30 cents from now and the basis improves, we'll all be able to stand on our chairs and say the low's in. Very few people can tell you it before it happens. If they could, they would have a different job. And I had this same young farmer say, I just have a hard time selling. And I said, well, did you think I was going to tell you that today's the day to sell 100% of your crop? Pick a day, pick a price, pick a target. A lot of times brokers, analysts, people just do cash. They don't do futures. They just have scale up selling in there. And as the market trades down at harvest, which is typical, and we make a harvest low, it's no time to get bearish. Matter of fact, we encourage people as you're selling grain, and many people, Don, let me be straight. Many people do have forward sales in HTAs. And they have sold higher prices. They just didn't sell enough, or they wish they would have sold more, like any of us, right? Anytime you have an asset, it's worth a lot, and then it becomes worth less, you wish you would have done something.
So we had the crop report out on Tuesday. Did it have some legs? We saw harvested acres on corn. I think maybe a bit of a surprise. Corn, soybean yields were lower, which that was anticipated. What was your takeaway in this crop report?
The wheat number was friendly. When you look at world wheat stocks, that's a friendly number. When you look at the matrix in corn, no matter how you spin that corn, we're going to have 2.2 billion, 2 billion. Say the Iowa corn crop was much smaller due to the August heat. Then we have 1.8 billion bushels of corn. It's still a lot of corn. The bean numbers are tight. That's why I really encourage reownership of a bean with some type of future or option. And people typically sell a lot of beans at harvest. Hence why we saw the bean market down over 20 cents today and corn market down 5. Both beans and corn closed on their low. Total typical action. But no time to get bearish in the sense that, are we going to go much lower? Maybe, but typically around this time, these weeks here, we form this harvest low.
We've been talking about the Mississippi River at these low levels on the lower Mississippi. A year ago, that was resolved somewhat with the hurricane season that helped to replenish some of that moisture. Looking at the weather talk at this point, we don't have that opportunity to return some moisture back into the river.
Yeah, we had some rain in parts of Iowa. Clients in Davenport, Bettendorf area received some rain, but we need it to rain up here. We need it to rain all along the river. Obviously, it's better if it starts up north. And I'm in Mayville, North Dakota today. I'm down in the podcast studio here in the basement of the bank. But we need rain. It's dry up here, and I do not think this bean crop finished up nearly the way folks in central North Dakota would have hoped.
Yeah. We look at this week, dollar, what, highest level since March, I think. Crude is at 10-month highs, if I'm recalling correctly. You talk about a go-go market. Those things are going a little bit crazy here.
Yeah, crude oil's really caught people's eyes, especially as you got to order a tanker of fuel for harvest. That diesel, is really went up. I'm noticing at the pump. It's a little tax on the American people. You put that high priced gas in your car, and it's $1 you're not spending somewhere else, whether it be at a restaurant or something you'd like to do personally. It's really taking those discretionary dollars out of the average American, and it's costing the farmer more. So as the farmer harvests corn that went to the lowest level it's been in months here today, they then have to put expensive diesel in their combine. It's a tax. That's why some people disagree with the current administration's role in what they're doing with fuel. Now, I doubt the administration watches Tom and Donnie, but if you're listening out there, we do have 400 years worth of energy here in America we could still use.
It's amazing. It wasn't that long ago that we saw the crude futures in the negative territory. Now we're pushing closer to triple digits. It's just the market dynamics. It amazes me.
Yeah, it's a very challenging time when it comes to managing everything, whether it be interest rates or the price of fuel or anything else.
The other one that's been reaching highs, it seems like day in and day out, has been this cattle market. A very strong live and feeder cattle trade during this past week as well.
Yeah, record highs. Record highs yesterday being Thursday, record highs today, Friday as we go home. I believe today's Friday, September 15th. Cattle market, all-time highs. How high does it go? It's interesting. It's wild to watch cattle make all-time highs and grains close on the low. It feels to me like things are getting back to what some folks would call normal in the grain industry, except for that tail end of those interest rates being tripled. That's really going to haunt someone. And I'll tell you what I call the trifecta, the devil's trifecta. If you have a poor crop, you have a poor price, and your interest rates have tripled, that is not good. And there are people in America, there are people watching this video who are going to have a so-so crop being the crop insurance level. They're going to have a so-so price. Now, what they're saying is, but once the market figures out we didn't have a good crop, it'll rally. Brazil and Argentina are growing so much grain. That second crop, corn crop, is what really put us over the edge. Whether we had a good crop or not, China and the rest of the world can buy a lot of beans and corn from other places now.
When we talk about the general economy, we're looking at the auto workers strike. Does that have ramifications for us in the ag world?
It's interesting. I turned on the news this morning, and it's a big deal. They're going to strike, and it could affect the American economy by billions. It could affect, obviously they want what they want, and the manufacturers want what they want. It could affect it's been hard to get new vehicles or new of anything, and it could affect that down the road.
Always like to watch what's going on in Washington. The Farm Bill is going to expire here in just 2 weeks. We've got about 12 different appropriations bills that need to be finalized again within the next 2 weeks, so we're going to be looking at a possible government shutdown. Speaker McCarthy's seemingly put together a deal that we could move forward with a minibus to get at least a continuing resolution to get things funded here for the short term. The problem is he's got some people within his own caucus that would probably rather see a government shutdown rather than moving forward here. So the politics over the next couple of weeks here are going to be interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting news. I will say this broadcast of you and I, it sounds like we're down. I'm not down. The optimism at the farm show, you and I spent the week at the Big Iron Farm Show, and the farmers are optimistic. Farming's still good. It's just going to get harder. It's going to get back to how it used to be. But used to be 5 years ago, we had low interest rates 5 years ago. Farmers are used to low prices. They are not used to low prices, mediocre bushels, and high interest rates. That's why I'm so cautious, Don.
I think they're liking what they saw with the wheat yields in our region. We're pleasantly surprised was the term I kept hearing from growers. They're pretty optimistic, I think, when they look at the corn crop in this region. And Soybeans, maybe it's a question mark. Sugar beet, we've been looking at some really nice yields coming into the pre-pile here, harvest as well. So there is some reason for optimism.
Absolutely. A lot of bushels can make up for a lot of bad marketing. Wouldn't it be great to have it all?
Yeah, definitely. Any other final thoughts for us, Tommy?
Everyone stay safe, get mentally fit, physically fit. Harvest is upon us. Enjoy the weekend. Some great football games. I'll be watching Colorado State. I see you have an NDSU sweatshirt on. It's a great time. Fall's a great time. The markets go up, markets go down. But if you have the bushels, things will be okay.
We're in the bushel business. We're talking with Tommy Grisafi from Advanced Trading, ATI ProMedia.